Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking exactly why one specific piece of tech is just completely dominating the 2026 premium television market. If you've been following the display space at all this year, you definitely already know we're talking about the Samsung S95H. We're going to deconstruct this TV piece by piece to figure out the engineering and the sheer processing power that makes it so wildly impressive. So, let's dive right in. In a recent super competitive 2026 TV shootout, the Samsung S95H QD-OLED was officially crowned the OLED King. Sony's Bravia 9i took the LCD title, but when it came to OLED, Samsung took the absolute top spot. I mean, that is a massive claim. The stakes in the flagship TV market are incredibly high right now, and today we're going to see exactly how Samsung earned that crown.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap. We're going to break down the hardware design, the QD-OLED visuals, the AI processor, its gaming capabilities, and wrap up with the smart ecosystem.
All right, Section 1. Meet the OLED King, the flagship 2026 S95H. Now, depending on where you live, you might actually see this marketed as the S99H, but it sits comfortably above the S85H and S90H models, taking the baton straight from last year's highly acclaimed S95H. What's really fascinating, though, is the expansion in sizes. You've got your massive, cinematic 83-inch and 77-inch panels, right down to the 65 and 55-inch models. But check this out, there's a brand new 48-inch option. Last year, the smallest you could get was a 55. This new 48-inch model is actually a 2026 CES honoree in the gaming and esports category. Samsung clearly realized that people want flagship, premium tech, not just in a giant living room, but maybe in a smaller bedroom or sitting right on a dedicated gaming desk. And the physical build is just stunning. This is Samsung's float layer design. It has this incredibly thin profile and a brand new metal frame compared to last year's model. It's really designed to have this seamless, almost floating presence in your space. Honestly, whether you use the included tabletop stand with those sleek round feet or you opt for a flush wall mount, the hardware itself basically vanishes. It just lets the screen do all the talking. Moving on to Section 2, the QD-OLED visual experience. Brilliant colors, zero glare.
Okay, so the physical design is beautiful, sure, but the panel technology is the absolute core reason this TV took the top spot. If you've ever owned an OLED, you definitely know the struggle of daytime viewing in a sunlit room. It's tough, right? It can honestly look like a giant mirror. But Samsung incorporated this new glare-free technology that practically eliminates reflections and discomfort glare, even with heavy natural light pouring into the room. And the crucial part here, it maintains OLED's signature perfect inky blacks and vibrant colors. You aren't sacrificing that incredible picture depth just to get rid of the glare.
And speaking of picture depth, the S95H utilizes OLED HDR Pro. Basically, this is advanced high dynamic range formatting that takes full advantage of those self-illuminating pixels. Because OLED pixels light themselves individually, you get infinite contrast. Samsung then pushes this even further with something they call a real depth enhancer, which creates a vibrant, incredibly lifelike image. It supports HDR10, HDR10 Plus Advanced, and HLG formats, so it literally covers everything from your basic streaming shows to top-tier cinematic broadcasts.
Let's hit Section 3, Brains Behind the Beauty. The NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor.
Stepping away from the glass and looking at the actual silicone inside, we have the NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor. This features 4K AI Upscaling Pro, which is actively supported by 128 distinct AI neural networks. Think about that for a second. We aren't always watching native 4K content, right? So when you throw on an older HD show or a standard broadcast, these 128 neural networks are constantly analyzing and rebuilding the image in real time, upscaling it to pristine 4K quality. It is a massive amount of processing muscle. And this processor unlocks the Samsung Vision AI Companion, which is essentially a smart assistant that anticipates what you need. Say you're watching a soccer match. The AI can instantly pull up live sports data and highlight reels. But it goes way further than that. You've got an AI Motion Enhancer Pro to smooth out fast-moving objects, a live translate feature, and even generative wallpapers that create images to match your current mood. The TV isn't just passively displaying an image anymore, it's actively interacting with the content.
Up next, Section 4, an ultimate gaming pack, unbeatable high performance.
Let's completely shift gears for a minute to talk directly to the gamers in the audience, because the S95H is a massive, undeniable leap forward for interactive media. For you gamers out there, 165 is the magic number. This TV supports a native 165 Hz refresh rate, And what's really incredible is that you get this with variable refresh rate, meaning absolutely no screen tearing or stuttering across all 4 HDMI ports. So for gamers, this translates to absolute zero lag, incredibly fluid motion, and a very real competitive advantage.
In practice, when you combine Samsung's Motion Accelerator 165Hz with official NVIDIA G-Sync and AMD FreeSync Premium Pro support, you get a hyper-smooth, tear-free experience. This entire setup is explicitly designed to easily keep pace with the absolute fastest PCs and next-gen consoles on the market today. Samsung also threw in a dedicated game bar UI. This is super handy because it allows players to effortlessly fine-tune their settings right in the middle of the action. Want to change the screen ratio for an ultra-wide view? Or maybe you need to use the mini-map zoom feature to keep a better eye on your enemies. You can do it all instantly without ever having to dig through complex TV menus. It's a real game changer.
Finally, Section 5, Sound and Smart Hub, the center of your ecosystem.
So we have established it looks and plays incredibly well, but the audio is equally robust. It packs a massive 70-watt, 4.2.2 channel setup. That means you have dedicated speakers firing sound upwards and outwards for true surround immersion, and it is all built right into that impossibly thin frame. Featuring Dolby Atmos and Object Tracking Sound Plus, the audio literally follows the action moving across the screen. It also has an active voice amplifier pro, so dialogue is always crystal clear, plus Symphony, which perfectly syncs the TV's speakers with compatible Samsung soundbars for a truly cinematic soundscape.
And the software ecosystem is just as impressive. It runs on the new Tizen 10 OS, and Samsung has promised an unprecedented 7 years of OS updates. It features a built-in SmartThings Matter Hub, which is huge because it means it speaks the universal language of smart homes to directly control your lights, thermostats, the whole shebang. It even has a pet care mode that detects if your dog is barking and actually notifies your phone. Add in Samsung TV Plus with hundreds of free channels and an art mode with access to over 5,000 pieces of art for when the TV is off, and you've got a seriously complete package.
The redesigned One UI Tizen interface also moves the main navigation tabs to the top of the screen instead of the side. It's just so much cleaner and far more intuitive to browse through your apps, Google Cast, and Apple AirPlay options. And like I mentioned, when you aren't binging a show, that art mode gallery really proves the software is just as refined and beautiful as the hardware itself.
You navigate all of this using the bundled solar cell remote. I love this. It's such an elegant and eco-friendly touch. It literally charges via indoor lighting or even radio frequencies from your Wi-Fi router. That means you will never have to hunt through a junk drawer for disposable batteries ever again.
Of course, sitting at the very top of the market absolutely comes with a premium price tag. Just to briefly ground us in reality here, the 65-inch model of the S95H is priced at $3,399.99 in the US. Make no mistake, this is a premium, high-end investment designed specifically for those who want the absolute peak of 2026 home theater technology.
Which brings us to our final thought today. When you combine a glare-free QD-OLED panel, 165Hz tear-free gaming, AI upscaling powered by 128 neural networks, and a built-in SmartThings Matter Hub, is the S95H still just a TV, or has it actually become the ultimate living room command center? It really makes you marvel at just how far television technology has advanced in a few short years. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep exploring the incredible world of tech.